Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Thought for the Day, the guidepost. And today I've based it on the 57th verse of the Tao Te Ching. It's called Becoming Yourself. I seek influence. I want to contribute. I want to help. But wisdom says, be silent. I want to plan, to have my energy harnessed, to see a clearer path, but instead I find peace. Power seeks to control. The law has become a burden. Interference creates anger. Let life flow. Enablers stand back and let others make their own journey. Let the fog roll in, but see the mist lifts. Life is a step-by-step unfolding and undoing of what was done, a place of peace and wisdom for each to become themselves. So becoming yourself, how do you become yourself? Haven't you always been yourself? Isn't it something that you don't need to work at? Yeah, but people are working at it. People are working at being themselves, and there's no need. Allowing life to flow, the seeing the mists lift, as the unfolding reveals, not forces, not pushes you into becoming it, but reveals who you are. And I constantly think about the way that people, they set goals, and it's not wrong to set goals, as long as the goals are what you were meant to be all along. If you're trying to be something that you're not, isn't that going to be like an uphill struggle? Isn't it going to be something that makes things more difficult rather than easier for you? As a life coach, I help people find out what it is that they are feeling that they should be all along and help them to get that, not to become something that they're not. So yeah, of course, within this life, we would like to have influence and to make a contribution and to help. And I'm one of the most verbose people you'll ever meet. I have so many words, but wisdom says, stay silent. I want to plan, to have my energy harnessed, to see a clearer path. Push, 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 push. But instead, I find peace. Peace comes when the striving cease, when there's no longer the push to make things happen. Allow things to happen. If they were really meant to happen, won't they happen if you don't get in the way of them? It's about, I said this, there's a sort of a saying I came up with in my late teens, to have my heartbeat in sync with the heartbeat of the universe. And I think the heartbeat of the universe might be a bit slower than this. And that's what we need to do. We need to move gently into that and become aware, become awake, become conscious of what it is we're doing here. I believe there is maybe some would call it an angel, a higher self, God, the force, source energy inside us. Left us more than a clue. The source energy has left us an imprint of who we are. We just need to discover it. We just need to be silent. We just need to find a place of peace so that we can find out what that is. Now, maybe this goes against everything that you feel is the right thing for you, and that's okay. You can move away from anything that I have to say, but it's worth considering before you go. Is that why things don't work out for you? Because you keep going after the things that aren't meant for you. The things that are meant for you are waiting for you, and you're pushing them away instead of embracing them. You're saying, no, I don't want that. Power seeks the control. The law has become a burden. Interference creates anger. See how the way that we do things on a human level rather than a spiritual level mess things up. We need to let life flow. Let it be. It's one of the those beautiful songs out there. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Enabler, stand back. If you're an enabler, if you're somebody who wants to help another person to become who they are, you don't get your sleeves rolled up. You don't get shirty with them. Roll your sleeves up shirt, never mind. You don't get shirty with people. You just allow them. What is it that it's the Cat Stevens songs, isn't it? Oh, very young. What will you leave us this time? What's the journey for this time? Why are you here? And rather than trying to mold young people into becoming something that they're not, this is what parents do all the time. They're well-meaning. I'm not getting at them for loving and caring and wanting the best for the children, but they get involved, and they sometimes they want them to be what they weren't, what they would have liked to have been, but they haven't become. And that's probably come from something further back, you know, that granddad wanted dad to be like that, so dad didn't get to be like that, so dad is now trying to get you to be like that. I don't know, but enablers stand back. They let others make their own journey. Let the fog roll in. Don't be worried about it when things become unclear, because then when you're willing, when you're allowing, when you're enabling, you can see the mists lift. Life is a step-by-step unfolding. Remember, these words of mine are based on the 57th verse of the Tao Te Ching. I've not come up with this wisdom. I'm just putting my spin on it. Life is a step-by-step unfolding. It's like the rose petals opening, bit by bit. It doesn't happen immediately. It takes time. It's so gentle. It's beautiful. It's nature. It's natural. It's the way it's supposed to be. Life is a step-by-step unfolding. Are you allowing your life to unfold? Are you being peaceful and silent long enough to find out how your life is supposed to flow? And the thing about allowing your life to flow is that it won't be, oh, I didn't want that to happen. It'll be, this feels great. An undoing of what was done. It reminds me of the prodigal son. The prodigal son had everything that he ever needed, but he went away from that. He took half his father's fortune, which would have been his when his father died anyway, and he messed it up. He spent it on the wrong things. He ended up, in the prodigal son story, he ends up eating, oh no, wishing that he could eat the pods that he's feeding to the pigs. And he thinks, this is the moment, you know, the realization. I was better off, well, not I was better off, but my father's servants are better off than this. I'll go back to my father's house. I'll ask him if I can be one of his servants. And the father rejoicing. He just wants his son back. He loves his son. But no, you're my son. You were dead. You lost the plot, mate. And now you're back. You've realized that it was there all along. The thing that you were looking for. This is the story of the alchemist. What he was looking for was back where he set off from. What an amazing adventure, all the same. But he found out he didn't need to go anywhere. It was all there, waiting for him, an undoing of what was done. And I think when I think of that line, I think about the way that parents, well-meaning parents, have, and society does it as well. Maybe not so well-meaning, but they try and mold you into what they want you to be, what they think will be best for you, that enhance your life, that do well for society. But all of that has to be undone so that you can be who you were meant to be all along. Place of peace and wisdom for each one who becomes themselves. Have you become yourself yet? I'd love to help you. I'd love to coach you, be with you for the ride back to yourself, back to the one that you are always meant to be, the one that makes you feel, I'm alive. This is who I was supposed to be all along. Not something that you've been pushed into by anyone, but a discovery of yourself and going, yeah, this is me. I'm on the mark now. I'm being who I was meant to be. I'm going to read my poem again, based on the 57th verse of the Tao Te Ching, and then I'm going to end the broadcast. I seek influence. I want to contribute. I want to help. But wisdom says, be silent. I want to plan, to have my energy harnessed, to see a clearer path. But instead, I find peace. Power seeks to control. The law has become a burden. Interference creates anger. Let life flow. Enablers stand back and let others make their own journey. Let the fog roll in, but see the mists clear. Life is a step-by-step unfolding, an undoing of what was done. A place of peace and wisdom for each to become themselves. Namaste.